Hello, it is the end of another month. This is the end of April, so the last 2 months have been a bit chaotic and I've not really had like a proper end of month up. Well, proper is the wrong word. February's one was very long. The last one was a bit more upsetting, serious, whatever else. This one, there's probably going to be differences about this one too, because there's some things I do feel I want to talk about and they're not really like end of month things, they're just overall life things. But yeah, so back in this wonderful shirt, whatever else, I have weighed myself this time, I'm 12.9, whatever, doesn't really make a difference. But the main focus of this episode, so first bear in mind, I have no idea how long this episode is going to be. I never have any idea how long these episodes are going to be. I start them and then sometimes they'll just end within 5 minutes, sometimes they'll end within 5 hours, haha. But yeah, so the main focus I think I'm going to talk about is my Asperger's for this one. So I've mentioned this before in like my song Who I Am. I've mentioned it before in other things as well, Conditions song as well. Pretty sure I've talked about it in past update things. It also goes by some other name just now, like in the last few years it's changed from Asperger's syndrome to something else. But I was raised with it being Asperger's syndrome, so that's what it's going to be. But not really just focusing about that, but I want to focus about the whole spectrum in a sense. So, autism, or you could even class OCD is what I'm going to be talking about. But mainly, this is just whatever. So, over like the last month, I have found myself thinking, you know what, I actually really like to collect things. I really like to have organised things and whatever else, especially at work just now. There's more, I'm doing a more organised role, but what I'm really liking to talk about is, so take for instance, if you've got Office, if you went with Microsoft Office, Excel, absolutely love Excel. So growing up I made like a ton of random lists, like for instance, anytime I watched a film, anytime I watched a TV show, and still to this day, I would fill in the episodes and then I'd rate them. So that's one example. Another example is roller coasters I've gone on. I've made a spreadsheet for that. Anything else? So one of the biggest things that I did was years ago I made a comic series. I've kind of talked about it before. I mean, my Dead Dreams song, it was kind of mentioned in there. But I did this at a time when I was very lonely, so I was like, oh, I'll just make up my own friends, basically. I haven't really gone back to the comic series, which is kind of a shame because, so I think it was the year before 2020, or 2 years before that, I had made the biggest, so it's a collective like series that I made, but I decided, you know what, I'm going to make everything add up, make everything make sense. So I then decided to bring back every character from the past comics I'd made, and what I did was I basically went back, so I think it's like, I can't even think, 1,000 odd, no it can't be as much as that. It's quite a lot of characters though, so I went back for every single individual character and I made sure that everything made sense. So I gave them all a birthday, I made sure their ages were correct, I had them have relationships with other people, and then, so like for some minor characters that didn't really have much, I would give them a lot more detail. Like I would, like there was some that were connected to main characters, but you didn't know that at the time. So it's like, I hope I can in some way incorporate this into the video and show you the list I'm talking about, because I really went through it all. I gave them their birthdays, I gave them the age, I gave them, like if they were a superhero, I made their secret identity, I put their enemies in, I put their best friend in, I put their siblings, their fathers, their mothers, and this was for like everybody. So even the fathers and the mothers of the main characters, I had their parents and I had their parents' parents. It was like, it's a lot of detail and a lot of time went into it. Years of my life went into it, but again, that is part of my condition in a sense, like really like detailed stuff. I really like to make detailed stuff. I even made like cards up of the characters as well. So I hope at some point in my life I can maybe get back to doing them, but who knows, it's been years since I've done them. And on the subject of comics, I guess one of the biggest inspirations was the Simpsons comics. So when I was younger, I collected a lot of them. I still have all of them, so for future episodes of Connor's Crazy Countdown, I was hoping to add that bit in there, but who knows with that, because that's another thing. I do enjoy the Connor's Crazy Countdown, but with the quality of it, I'm not really that happy the whole time. But yeah, so Excel lists, loved them, have so many detailed lists about so many different things. And then onto collecting stuff. So when I was younger, my brother had like he had cars. So like these, can you really see that? I'll probably be better if I got closer to the camera. Yeah. So come into focus. So cars like this, like Hot Wheels cars, things like that. Some of these were like my brother's ones, but I think this one is specifically mine. There's other ones like that, but I still have like all these today. But I have tons of them, hundreds of them, and you'll think like, oh, why didn't you throw them away? Aren't you a bit old to have something like that? For me, it's not so much to play with. It's not even so much to collect it. It's just it holds a lot of memories to me. So it's like, why would I throw away something so good? But yeah, I mean, to say play with them, I might play with them at some point. But it's the same with Lego. I still have all my Lego from when I was younger too. I did used to have a train set as well, which I really, really enjoyed. But then somehow, some way along the way, it went missing. So with my Action Men, I used to collect a lot of Action Men, but they've since gone missing. But yeah, so like you can see, like I really like collecting things. And yes, maybe there's a bit of OCD there, or maybe there's a bit of obsessive compulsive. Is that it? Just collecting stuff, having a lot of stuff. So another thing I collected, which would be like, what is this big box? It's golf balls. Yeah, I got tons and tons of golf balls from over the years. I've also got like a lot of random other balls in here, like tennis balls. I've got a random eye in here. But this is just like this is a box of balls basically. Don't take that out of context, but yes, a lot of balls here. Golf balls and a lot of other like tennis balls. I think I do have a pool ball as well from the old pool table I used to have. To me, these are just like, they're like random memories through this as well. But for me, golf balls, like I do live quite near a golf course, so anytime I'm out and I see a golf ball, I'm just like, oh, I want that. Like, I mean, because if I don't collect it, like, what's going to happen to it anyways? It's just going to sit there. Like, it's no one's else is going to pick it up or whatever else. But yeah, so golf balls is like one of the big other things I collect. So we've had cars, we have Lego, we have golf balls. One of the most random things I collected from when I was younger, which I still have, but like I don't really, there's no purpose really to me having it, but in the village that I used to live in, I went around and then I randomly came across these little pellets. At the time I didn't really know what they were, but I was just like, oh, colourful, and I want to collect it, I want to have it. So this jar is how many of these things I found. I think they're, what do you call them? Like, what do you call these things? Like pellets, AirTag things. I don't even think like you're allowed to have these things anymore. But when I was younger, I've collected them. I never like use these. I would never use them. They're more for decoration. Decoration. But yeah, so as you can see, I'm very, very obsessive about like having things. Same with DVDs. I still have tons of DVDs. If you don't know what a DVD is basically streaming. So before streaming was a thing, before you could just get any film you wanted at any time online, you had to have a physical copy of them. And before that it was VHS, which I still have one or two of them. But basically when I was younger, I had a lot of videos, so VHSs. And then as I got older and they started to get out of popularity, I decided to collect the DVD versions of it. And so take for instance, it's like Harry Potter. I don't just want the first Harry Potter, I want all 7 films. So, where's the 8 films? great Harry Potter fan, aren't I? Yeah. So it's like something like that. So you've got like all the Harry Potters, you've got all the diehards, all the black actors, all the other TV shows like The Simpsons. I mean, saying I have all The Simpsons, I don't. Like, I would love to have all The Simpsons on DVD. I have most of the first series. Like, I think I have from the first series up to about the 8th series, then it goes a bit out of sync. But yeah, so collecting lots of DVDs, tons of DVDs I have, tons of games that I have, though I'm a bit more like, I mean, I will have had a Connor's Crazy count. Well, I don't have actually released it yet, but I have a Connor's Crazy countdown made of me showing off some of the games I have. And like I said, it's like with the Connor's Crazy countdown as well. They're lists of things that I have interest in or things that I've done. The same with even my gaming videos. I don't like a lot of YouTubers in the past have made game series they've just given up on. I don't really like doing that. Yes, there are a few series that I've kind of started and not continued. Like I did Dead by Daylight, but it wasn't really for me. Same with Friday the 13th. But I'm meaning more like story games. So I think you'll find the majority of story games on my channel I have finished all the way through. There's not one that I have decided, you know what, this isn't worth it and just quit on it. I like to have the whole collective of it. But there's currently Little Big Planet is on my channel. Now that is a bit more difficult because I don't see me completing that game 100% because it's not possible. But another series that is currently going is GTA 4, and I went all the way with that. Unfortunately, well, as I've said in a lot of ones of these episodes, that game destroyed me. Towards the end, I basically have lost tons of my footage, and it's really irritating. So again, with the condition, with the Asperger's, it makes me very annoyed that I had all this. I spent hours with this, but I mean, not even just like having this. I mean, anybody could feel this way. If you spend hours on something and it just goes poof like that. I mean, I have partial bits of the episodes, so if I ever upload these episodes, then they'll be the weirdest episodes ever. But for me personally, it would make me more upset if I don't have that footage out there to be like, I have completed the game. You know what I mean? Like, to have had the whole game completed and then I just decide to stop at episode 70 or something instead of going all the way to 100. I would hate that. So anytime I've got a game series going, I do like to go all the way with it. Like, hence why most of the games that I play to completion. Like, I play to 100% to get all the trophies. But obviously there are a couple of games that are just not possible to do that. Like Little Big Planet, for instance, because there are some trophies that are just physically unable to get now. Or games like Overwatch. Overwatch, there's potential for me to get 100%, but it will take me at least 10 years. Who knows if I'll ever get that. I mean, take for instance Cassidy. Cassidy in Overwatch 1 was so much easier to use his power up, and he also had the stun. Why they did away with the stun really upsets me, but yeah, like that for instance. Changes as well. Lots of changes are upsetting. If you've grown up, or if you've gone along with a lot of routine. If you're used to a certain routine and somebody's just like, you know what, we're going to change this and it's just going to be awful now. We're going to change it to benefit us, not to benefit you. So yes, some changes are good, like DVDs and all that. That is good. Like, coming from what we had before is definitely better, but there are some changes. So like my Trends song, this is what I'm talking about, like Trends. Like, I grew up with certain things and they've changed along the way, and then everybody was like talking about PS5, but I was still happy with PS4. It's like changes like that are a bit annoying. What I mean more so is the fact that I, like with Overwatch, it's certain characters, they change from certain ways and I then can't use them the way I want to use them. But yeah, what else? So I've basically made this episode the autistic episode, the Asperger's episode, we have a condition episode. I'm trying to think what else is like I don't know. Songs. So again, that's also routine for me. I always like to have a song out every month. Like, it is a challenge. It definitely is a big challenge. But it's something, it's the one thing in my life I actually really enjoy doing. It upsets me I haven't enough talent though to make the songs sound the way I want them to sound. So in my head, like, I'll have a beat or I'll have a tune, but then I go to play it and then I can only play a certain array of notes. It'll be like did. But in my head it would be more like if that makes any sense. Like, I want to go different places with the songs, but I can't. I mean, I only play a keyboard. I'd like to learn to play the guitar, and I somewhat can play one or two notes, but it's when I go to record a guitar, for instance, it sounds dreadful. But yes, like, I love making songs, and I could write so many songs. It's just recording them is the challenge. Making them is the challenge. So this year, I've had one or two songs. They're still to come. And the most recent one that I've made, I'm kind of happy with. It's very amped up, I'd say. But like, obviously, if you've been a fan of the channel, like, one of the running themes of a lot of my songs was fruit or vegetables. Like, that's like one of the things. But obviously there's only a certain amount of those things, and I don't really want to sing like a song about bananas or something, because there are tons of songs about bananas out there, or sing a song about peach, because peach is a bit of a, how do I say it, a bit of a strange subject to sing a song about. Yes, I could probably make a good song about a peach, but I wouldn't feel comfortable singing a song about a peach. So, moving on from that weird subject. Yeah, so again, with the songs as well, they're all very, very personal. Like, I make them more or less all about myself, or certain subjects and other sorts like that. But you get a routine, one every month. It's how it go. Of course, with the gaming videos, they are a bit more stressful for me. I do like having them made. Making them can be a real chore at times though, because the footage is like, how do I put this? Is another thing that's just very upsetting. So like, a lot of the videos that I will have recorded on PS4 have a jump in them. So it'll be like, there'll be a certain scene, it'll be like, oh hi there, my name's, well, oh, and then we went to this place and that place, and oh, car, we're going this way now, way. It just has like spikes in it. But obviously, like, if I'm recording my camera with it, the camera goes all the way, and it's fine, it's totally fine. There's no jumps or cuts or anything like that with the camera. But the video footage, no, the video footage is screwed. So that is also really upsetting. And so that's the game videos, that's the songs. But the Connor's Crazy Countdown, so that just now is is one of the main things that's really upsetting me, is the fact that I have quite a lot of videos recorded. I just haven't made them properly, or because I just do not feel comfortable or confident in them. I don't know if I've mentioned it at all, but I have a massive project under my hands, like a massive one that I really, 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 really want to do. I've recorded the main video like 3 times and I'm still not happy with it. But basically what the project is I've got this big main video, but then I also have like a lot of extra videos that spin off from it. So it'll be like the one main subject, but then I'll have at least maybe another 20, 10, whatever episodes to do with this main video. It's a real task in hand, and I like having a full-time job. I don't have that much time. Yeah, I have to, but like if I get back from work, I'm not like going to be spending the rest of my hours doing a project like this. Like, most of the time it'll be like the weekend or a holiday or something. I would make videos and things. Hence, I'm doing this. Yeah, you're probably of class now. This isn't the last day of April. This is towards the last day. I can only record this when I have time. Most of the time, it is the last day I would record this, but currently it is the 27th of April. So the last day is how many. I should know it off the top of my head, but I can't think right now. Wait, that was the camera off. So the last day is. It's currently the 27th. The last day is Tuesday, so that is a work day for me. I could very well record, but I like to do it in the morning when it's whatever, when it's. But so, yeah. There's not really a whole lot more else for me to talk about. Hello, this is Future Connor. Well, future as in a little bit after the other guy. So that I said a lot, but there was actually one main thing I forgot to mention around here. The whole reason that sparked me starting this was being on YouTube. I have obviously watched other YouTubers and I'm interested in a lot of their content and stuff like that. But one of the ones that inspired me to do this in a sense was a guy called The Unlucky Tug. This is probably better like this, right? Yeah. That's probably messed up my recording actually, and you can see that, right? So, no, right. So the Unlucky Tug made a video of him showing off his collection of all the trains and things he collected. So what he makes in his content is like he talks about Thomas the Tank Engine, but I mean you'll be like, that's a baby show. No, he like goes into like the whole thing of Wilbert Audrey and all other sorts and the makes of the train. So it's a lot more advanced than that. It's not just talking about, oh, this is a really fun TV show for kids. Look at these cool engines with their beautiful bright colours. No, he's like way more detailed than that. But what I'm getting at is that he's made quite a few videos that I've found as a person with Asperger's just kind of satisfying, kind of interesting, where he's like showing off his collection of all his trains, and he showed off all his collection of all his videos, DVDs and that, and he does it very professionally. Like he's got like a plate that he puts his characters on and it spins round that. I just find that fascinating. I genuinely don't know what it was, but I was just sat there. It was his most recent one where it was like he showed off his collection of every train that he owns, and it just sat on this spinning thing. I mean, I would feel like I would want to get one of my own. So it sat on this spinning thing and he showed you it just round and round. Like, I have no idea why I found that so satisfying, but I did. He's got a very calm voice, so he just talks through it and it's like, here it is, look at this, it's very interesting. And there's other like YouTubers out there. There's another channel called The Proper People, and they explore like abandoned places. So I find there's something very interesting about that as well. It's just these random like interesting collections, these interesting finds, these interesting explorations, whatever. But you know, everybody has some sort of different taste in things. But anyways, back to the other guy. Obviously, like I said before, the previous two episodes of this have been a bit more upstanding, a bit more upsetting, a bit more strange. But hopefully you like this insight into me and lots of things that I collect. I do like... Is it some sort of comfort? I don't know. But it's just something about like having variety of things is just cool to me. It's like I don't. A lot of people don't like Funko Pops or anything like that. I don't personally have any of my own, but there's something to me that if I had like ample space to have it, I think I would actually really like to have them. Honestly don't know what it is, but just like to have a wall of all these different characters from all these different places sounds really interesting to me. But you could have every Marvel character, you could have every Harry Potter character, you could have every Star Wars character. It's just like so many different things, but they're under the same thing. They all look the same. They're all in the same style. To me, that's kind of interesting. I know a lot of people don't like them, and I do not have any of my own, but I think they're very intriguing. But yeah, I guess that really is it. You don't have to be of a conditioned mind, or you don't have to have anything to be like this. You can collect things yourself. Like, Is there anything you collect that you are interested in? I mean, some people collect stamps, some people collect stickers, some people collect things like cars, like me, or whatever else. But they'll collect other, like, more grown up people, more adult people will collect bigger things. They'll collect like real cars, or they'll collect maybe houses. There's a lot of different things we're collecting, but yeah, like I said with DVDs, I do like to have every DVD of a certain series or every DVD of a certain collection of it. Like, there are some DVDs I still don't have, which I'm kind of upset about. Like Disney DVDs, for instance, I've got the majority of the main Disney films. I've got the majority of the Pixar films. But now that Disney Plus is a thing, it's kind of like, what's the word? Obsolete is very, like, it is obsolete. Like, I feel ancient now collecting DVDs. But at one point in my life, they were cool. They were like, oh, these are awesome. But now it's like, I don't know. To me, my DVDs are like books to some people. You have like a wall of books. I have a wall of DVDs. Maybe at one point in my life I'll have a wall of something else. Who knows? But anyways, I guess I'm going to end there because I've basically said everything I can say. Collecting stuff is amazing. Always has been. I have a ton of stuff. And I really, 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 really hope I can get back to my Connor's Crazy Countdown and show you other certain aspects, other certain things. But I hope you have enjoyed this episode. And until next time, and whatever I play, and whatever I do, and whatever I make, and whatever I say, whatever, bye.